Hi everybody. So I wanted to do a different kind of video, one that I think we don't talk about enough, and it's the top 5 things that I feel like have helped me throughout the journey. And I would say that, infertility is so hard, and it's so hard to talk about, and it's so hard to find a space. And before, I would feel really isolated and alone, and I was struggling. And I'm a counselor, so I know that there are things that I could be doing differently that might help me throughout this process. So I want to share those things with all of you in case you're having a hard time with your fertility, or there are other issues, or even just, overall wellness. So the first thing that I would say helped me with my infertility is doing OPKs, Ovulation Predictor Kits. And the reason why I find those helpful is because it felt like I had some control over my infertility. I knew what was happening with my body. It gave me greater insight. I could tell doctors, no, it's not my weight. It's this. No, I'm not ovulating. I didn't even know that there were like 4 months that I didn't ovulate at all. And I just thought, well, I didn't get a period, whatever. Or I got a period, but it was really long, or it was really late, or my cycle was really off, and I didn't understand it. And ovulation predictor kits, although they can be a little bit annoying and difficult and tricky to read the lines and whatever, or if you use the more expensive ones, they might be more reliable and they might be easier to read, but you're spending a lot more money. I bought the inexpensive ones, and I did them through cycle day 10 through 14, 15, when my cycles are regular. That gives me an idea of when I'm about to ovulate so that I know when I can try to have sex with my husband so that we're more successful. And it even helped me when we were going for our IUI, because I was able to tell the doctor, hey, I'm surging. She couldn't see the follicles. She couldn't see my left ovary. And by me telling her, hey, I took an at-home OPK, so I know that I'm surging. So that prompted her to look further into my blood work and rely on that rather than just the internal ultrasound. So OPKs, probably my number 1 thing. Second, I would say, is online support groups. So I'm part of several online infertility groups on Facebook. You can go a traditional route and find one in your community. Our infertility clinic does offer one, but not in my immediate area. So I would have to drive over an hour away to go to one of those. So I haven't been to that. And it's COVID-19, so I can't go even if I wanted to. But being part of an online support group has really helped me, because I struggle with anxiety. So if in the middle of the night I'm thinking of all of these things, I can just post a quick question on the infertility group, and instantly I'll have maybe 20 women who are going through the same thing give me their feedback, or tell me about their experience, or tell me what helped them. Or if it's just an irrational fear, they'll tell me, no, it's not like that. You don't have anything to worry about. So I find it very helpful, even just for little questions, or even if I didn't understand something, or I forgot, how the doctor told me to take this one medication or this one shot, I can ask these other women who've probably taken this medication and can help me. So number 1 was OPKs. Number 2 is online support groups. And number 3, I would say, is focusing on my body and mind and being healthier. So I started keto, and I did that in January, and I've lost about 60 pounds almost, and it's helped regulate my periods. And not that you have to do keto, because there are many other different ways to lose weight and to be healthy, and being healthy doesn't always have to mean weight loss. But it did in my case, and it makes me feel better. So I did keto, which means I really limited my carbs and my sugars, and it made my cycles regular. And after about a month or 2 months on keto, I got really regular cycles that were 28, 29 days. And prior to that, my cycles were 40, 45, 50 days. So keto really helped me in that I felt healthier, I had more energy, and it helped regulate my cycles. So number 1, OPKs. Number 2, online support groups. Number 3, keto. And then I would say number 4 for me would be having an outlet, a space to talk about my feelings. And that's what these videos are for me. It's kind of like my online video journals. So having a space to share my feelings, to talk about it, to talk it through, to process things. Because there's things that change every single day. Or there's different emotions, there's different feelings, there's grief, loss, all of these things that come up with infertility. And having this space and having somewhere to go for me to talk about it has been really helpful. So talking about it with my husband, talking about it on here, talking about it with, you know, the YouTube community has been helpful for me. And then number 5 kind of goes with that one. But number 5 is talking with other people in my life who have experienced infertility. So I have really awesome family members who've been really helpful in talking with me about their experiences with IUI and infertility, and just knowing that my feelings are valid, that my feelings are real, and that, you know, even though their experience may not be exactly like mine, that we share some similarities, and that I'm not crazy for thinking these things or for wondering them. And just hearing somebody else validate those things out loud has been really helpful. So for the person who's done that for me, her name is Laura, and she is part of my family, and I love her very much. So I want to thank her for telling me about her story and for validating my feelings. So top 5 things that have been helpful to me, and I hope they are helpful to you also.